Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bar Shem, Yahweh Shai, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. This is Paya Allah from the GMS London camp, and this is a video dealing with the so-called terrorist attack that happened Friday night, or Friday evening, alright, on so-called Black Friday. And it's spirit, man, because in the video, one of my previous videos, I actually mentioned that there's going to be a famine, and that, they're basically over the years they've been working a thing known as gradualism, where they've been arming the police, and then lo and behold, armed police came out in great force on Black Friday. All right, I, I'm at home right now. I just came from camp and that, man, and yeah, but them people, after that so-called terrorist attack that happened, you had police. When you check out images, it's like this image here. You had these people running up and down Oxford Street, man, where we actually hold camp, mind you. So we knew through the spirit it'd be hot. We had police patrolling up and down, but didn't bother us, which kind of made me question whether they were briefed about us, which I believe they were, because usually you have people, police, come up to us and may question us, and they say, well, we've never worked in this area before, but no one seemed to bother us or was alarmed, especially after a so-called terrorist attack like that. You know, so I believe that we ain't no terrorists, but I believe they got us on their terrorist hit list, man, because Esau really want to make a move on us. Because when I say Esau, I'm talking about the elites, the Illuminati, those that are in the know, because they know that when the prophets were set up, Jeremiah 28:8, they'll set up for the prophesying of the downfall of that kingdom. So we speak against them, and that's the reason why these things occur, because these are basically instruments to be used against us, man. Satan's devices, which we are not ignorant of. Okay, so like I was saying, you had people after all of that Black Friday, you had them out there running up and down. You got brothers that work in the area saying people were crying for their life, throwing their bags around. All that pride and pomp disappeared, and they became humble. They humbled, for that moment, and they were hoping to get saved, man. They were hoping they didn't get their head blown away. All right, people running up and down. Then lo and behold, after an hour or so, you find out that there's no evidence of no gunshots. All right, and then today, you see people out there in full force, man. Yeah, the roads were dotted with people, man. You couldn't see the pavement. That's how many people you had out on Oxford Street. So that shows you these people, man, they're ripe for the plucking, and these things are psyops, man. Basically, testing grounds for the elites to see how people react when they prod them with certain pressure, and you can see that they're really nonchalant about the goings on that the elites have. All right, and that throws my mind back to when the London Bridge attack happened. You had Theresa May talking about we will go on because we the pride of London. All right, the pride of London is gonna get you a big surprise in that day, because ultimately what this is heading to is a time of Jacob's trouble, which all the world shall feel, man. That time of trouble, okay, to try them that be upon the earth. Revelations 3:10, Jeremiah 30:7. All right. So these people out here running, there's gonna be a time when you're really gonna be running from something that is a terror. Oxford Street, what happened to cause terror scare in central London? Panic erupted in central London and several people were hurt as armed police investigated a security alert at a tube station. Now, before I read this article, I was close to the area, and I see police, unmarked cars, marked cars, armed police on motorcycles heading up to that area non-stop for an hour, sirens blaring. Okay, you had it going off, the vans and everything, And another point, I brought this out of camp through the spirit because that is only something I believe I may have mentioned it in my previous video. But the armed police used to roll around. I remember this because I remember I never saw one of these until I was in West London, like Notting Hill, Kensington, and Chelsea. I never saw, but they had more armed police over there because of the wealth that's in the area, and they used to patrol in a red X5. Now today, if police are in the X5, that means they're armed police. All right, there's no red no more to actually for them to stand out and for you to acknowledge that they're armed police. Now they're blended off with regular police. Okay, that's because the time we're in, they're getting ready to come. Esau, Revelations 12:12, the devil knowing they have a short time cometh down with great wrath. Shoppers on Europe's busiest street, mind you, Europe's busiest street, and where we hold camp as well. Street ran for cover inside stores over fears of a terror attack at the underground station. But what actually happened? Scotland Yard started receiving numerous 999 calls at 4:38 p.m. on Friday, with people saying multiple shots had been fired on Oxford Street and inside nearby Oxford Street Station. He's saying multiple people said this, but yet they're saying there's no evidence of a gunshot. Now this more than likely is a psyop, man. It's a tryout, man. You know, the Met Police and British Transport Police treated the information as a possible terror attack and sent armed officers to the scene. With the first armed response vehicle getting there in less than a minute after the first call, shoppers were seen running out of the station. Many were screaming and their faces were ashen. A witness told Sky News. A word spread As word spread, the street, which was thronged with shoppers and tourists, as a usual Friday afternoon, Slovakia, excuse me, was suddenly empty. Okay, these are two men they say they believe to have the altercation. People were ushered into the shop changing rooms and main doors were locked. Pedestrians took cover in passing taxis. Others just ran. Okay, that's chaos, man. In the streets, London Fire Brigade sent 3 fire engines and 15 firefighters to the scene. Okay, just want to go through this. It's just a quick video covering this information, this news information, to relay some key points. Um, See, the rumors escalated from gunshots going off via social media. Brothers were sending links to Twitter, Instagram, and basically they're saying it escalated to a bombing attack. And even on Instagram, you see videos of Jakes out here, man. They recorded the police basically combing the streets, working a line, basically forming a line and walking down the street and telling people to get to the side and move out the way. And they were armed, man. Yeah, Jakes, they were surprised at that. And then even today, it shows you, niggas are funny, man. Some pubescent Jakes, man. They're saying, yeah, got a bomb and running, trying to scare the people. But it's gonna come a day where those things are gonna be taken very seriously, and they're gonna start shooting people dead in the street, man. All right. So that's the chaos of melee, and that's right where we teach camp, man. This area right here where the light is in the corner. I can't see me selecting it, man. But right in the top left hand corner, that's where we hold camp, man. All right. This is all the area, Nighttown, H&M. That's where we hold camp. All right. Um, They even said it was gunshots in people heard gunshots in Selfridges. So this just shows you, they said there was no trace afterwards. Excuse me. So basically, what it turns out is that two men had a fight, and that's what happened, man. But the point being is that, look, points to take away from this. This is psyop. Esau basically experimented in this case, saying there was shots fired on Black Friday, one of the busiest weekends, you know, coming into the weekends of the year. Okay, on the busiest street in Europe. So it was a key, the variables were at their best for this experiment. So Esau basically said, "Yo, there's loads of people outside. Let's do an experiment. Let's see how it goes. Let's try out, see how the people react." And basically, they got the reaction. They see that people basically threw themselves at to the safety of the police. Okay, and in London, no one ain't got no guns. You got knives and all these, well, people got guns, but it ain't like America where you're walking with your sidearm, right? So this happened for what? For Esau to test out the people because he knows he has a short time. Psalm 64:2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at them and fear not. That's right. Mind you, this took place at Oxford Street where we teach camp. So that's a shot in darkness at us, man. All right, the Israelites who were teaching this word in sincerity and truth. All right, as well as they're trying out to see how the people react to their agenda plan, to armed personnel running up and down the street and locking off, these different points that are gonna head into the time of Jacob's trouble because they're preparing for it. 2018 is gonna be a big year. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect, and suddenly do they shoot and fear not. They encourage themselves in the evil matter, and they do encourage. They continue to go. That's why it says in Job, when they're about to fill their belly, then sudden destruction cometh. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? And that's what they're doing. But we see them, man. We're part of the elect. Lord willing, we're of the elect. The Lord's given us the oil to see as owls to see, like owls to see in the darkness, and as spiders to operate between it on this web of Esau, which is a trap, and to be able to maneuver through it, which is a snare. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And that's them. You have those, what they call them, man, whistleblowers, man. So with that, man, I pray you edified. Shalom.